So it's like you're Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Lauren,
And I'm Lorna.
and I work in the marketing department at VB-Airsuspension.
And I look after the dealer network for VB-Airsuspension.
So we're at A&E Leisure today in Cheshire, one of our premium dealers, and we are fitting the...
SHR 4x4 levelling system. And it's the first time we've fitted it in the UK, so it's very exciting times.
It's very exciting, and we thought we'd just have a little bit of a catch-up with you about Lorna's van conversion that she's currently got going on at the minute.
So I've got a Volkswagen Crafter, it's a 2013, so it's a bit of an older one. Still the same shape as the newer Mercedes Sprinter. So yeah, it's been an experience so far, because we're not, as much as I'm experienced in levelling in air, conversion side of things is not my bag.
Yeah.
So I'm relying on a lot of our dealers to give me some solid advice.
It's completely different though, converting a van, isn't it? If you've never done it before as well, you're learning from scratch.
Yeah. So there's a lot of information on YouTube, which is helpful.
Yeah.
But there's so much information, it's actually quite conflicting. And I'm used to having solid information about what I'm doing and know exactly what I'm doing.
Well, you're very much liking the routine and everything. You have to know what's going on. So probably doing this conversion, having to work it out as you go.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Isn't for you.
No. I'm literally living and breathing the industry at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind actually, but...
Well, what's your first trip when you finally obviously convert it all?
We haven't got that far yet because we're just trying to take it day by day.
No, I get
because
that.
if we're thinking about the end product, it's just so overwhelming.
Have you ever done the NC500?
No, we're waiting until the van's done before we can do it.
Yeah.
But we travel quite a lot around the UK camping anyway. So it's not like we're unfamiliar with camping. It's been our life for quite a long time, which is why we've taken the next steps and got the van. But we'll probably be a bit sensible. This is what everyone recommends as well. Don't go really far on your first trip.
No, I get that. I get it.
So we'll probably just go to the lakes, because we go to the lakes all the time anyway for walking. And our friends have all got campers that they've converted. So we'll probably do a night in the lakes, or just do North Wales or something for a night, 2 nights.
Yeah, because to be fair, if you set off and something goes wrong, you want to just do a trial run first as such, don't you, before actually going ahead and doing a full long
Yeah, you don't want to
drive.
commit to a major trip and then something goes wrong. I mean, ultimately, it's not going to be like all singing, all dancing conversion. We're keeping it quite simple. I've looked at a lot of our converter vans, which are amazing, by the way. But obviously, that level of conversion is just out of reach for us. And realistically, how much power do we need? The power is such a huge thing in the industry.
Yeah, of course.
And it's blowing my brains right now. So if you've got any advice, let me know.
What do you mean, power?
Power. So basically, obviously, you're going to have lights in there. You're going to have
sorry,
fridge.
I thought you meant the power of like how fast the vehicle went.
No.
Not actually like the electric
power.
side
The
of it.
electric side of it is probably the biggest minefield.
So have you started doing the electrics and everything
No,
yet?
so we're puzzling over it at the moment, but before you can even really start, you need to understand what you're going to have in there.
Yeah.
So we know we're going to need lights, obviously. We're going to have a fridge. We don't need a TV. We're not really TV people. So we're going to keep it quite simple. We've decided to go for a gas hob instead of an electric hob, which was a big discussion, because if you go full electric, as in like house electric, you need a massive other bit of equipment that's really expensive. So basically, there's a lot to it. I'm leaning on dealers for a bit of advice.
Yeah, I get that.
And you really don't want to mess power up, because if you misfuse something or something like that, you've got problems.
It's happened with my mum's T5 at the minute. Something's been wired up wrong and it tripped the whole van out.
Exactly.
And the actual van wouldn't drive and it wouldn't go because something tripped the whole electrics out on the wiring. And it was a massive nightmare.
I've got advice on what we need. It's just, do we take the risk and fit it ourselves, or do I speak to other dealers and we'll work something out and they can maybe do it for us? I don't know.
What are you doing with the heating? Are you going to get like an electric heater?
So I'm going to get a diesel heater.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that comes up a lot, and there's a lot of cheap Chinese ones available. And all the dealers, obviously with their experience, because a lot of our dealers actually don't just specialise in air and levelling, they do quite a lot of other things. And I think pretty much every single dealer I've asked for advice has said, do not buy the cheap ones, invest in a proper diesel heater, because that is something that is really dangerous if you get that wrong.
Yeah.
I've already mapped out all that kind of thing. I know exactly what I need to buy, because budget is a big thing for when considering a van conversion in general.
You need a lot of money, like quite a bit of money behind you. You obviously can do it on a budget, but eventually down the long run you'll want to probably change a lot of the things that you've done.
Exactly. And then I thought about like buying little bits at a time to break it up, but then you also need to be careful there, because say for example if I buy a fridge now, I can't test it and try it now for realistically another 6 months, 8 months. And then you've eaten into that warranty period, and if everything's wrong, you might not be able to give it back.
I get that,
So it's a fine balance of what to get and kind of what not to.
How far are you up to it now? Because I know we chat a bit about it, but I don't actually know how far you've got with it.
We've fitted the windows now. We've stripped it all out. We've fitted a max fan at the weekend, so it's a roof light. It's got a fan for ventilation, because ventilation is really important. And we've started the insulation. So really, our next steps is that kind of bit that we've really been avoiding, which is the electrics. And
what are you doing for your bed? Are you going to get a pull-out bed? Are you going to get a swivel chair? What are you getting a fixed bed?
So we kind of roughly know it's only a medium wheelbase, so there's only so many options with layouts. We don't need the additional seats in the back, which can also take up space as well. So we're going to do a fixed bed because we're outdoorsy people. We need that garage space.
Yeah, of course. And you're going to have your garage
underneath it. So basically, if you don't do a fixed bed, then you've got to make your bed every night. And we just thought, as much as you get more space, which is fantastic, most of the time we're going to be camping, we're going to be outside.
Yeah, you need the storage space
and rather the storage, like we want the paddleboard, the kayak, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Obviously, we need to factor in my stepdaughter, she's 13 now. She needs a bed as well. And in a medium wheelbase is tricky.
So where are you going to put the second bed? Are you going to, in the pop top? Are you going to get a pop top?
No, we're not doing a pop top. So we're just going to do the fixed bed, and where you've got 2 seats there, like in the day, or like benches almost, we're going to have the option to lift that up and make that into a bed there.
Right, okay.
As I said, it's limited, medium wheelbase, and we didn't want to go for bunks. Some people go for bunk beds.
Yeah.
But then that also eats into that garage space.
No, it does. And to be fair, on a pop top, so when I used to have the T6 and we had the pop top, if you're wild camping, you can actually only put that pop top up every so often, because unless you're on a campsite, you're not allowed it up because you can't be seen to be camping on the side of the road.
Exactly.
So that then pop tops are brilliant on a campsite. After you've actually got the height anyway, haven't you?
Exactly.
So you don't need to worry about.
But that's why we didn't get a T6. Yeah. We thought about that for a long time as well, but we need the space. Like,
no, I get that.
And if you get a pop top, what you got to factor in is if it's really bad conditions outside, you can't put someone up there. If it's really windy, it's dangerous.
We've been in that situation.
Yeah. So then what? Like, you're going to have to try and figure out where that person's going to sleep. So we just decided, I think ultimately we're going to go with the classic simple layout.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, obviously neither of us are experienced in it. My partner's more handy than I am. She likes to say that I'm the brains, and she's the
She's the doer.
But obviously, she can't do everything, and I've got to help where I can. So
yeah, of course.
I have to learn how to use some power tools.
So, what I wanted to quickly ask you as well is, do you think you'll ever get VB-Airsuspension on your crafter?
Yeah, I've already thought about it, and I am going to be putting semi-air on the back. Although my license doesn't cover me for the operating side, which I know is what a lot of people get the semi-air for.
Yeah.
It's not really about that for me. It's more that the handling is going to be significantly improved if I put it on. Because if you think about it with a van, all the weight is going to be on the back. And then what happens is all that weight is on the back, and then your front starts to lift up. So you don't get the traction on the front. So I think it's quite nerve-wracking anyway, because it's quite tall driving it. So in winds and stuff like that, you do get a lot of movement.
But it's on the motorway, a lot of people find that they get pulled into wagons.
But if it's, right now it's empty, so it's already quite wobbly. Yeah. But as soon as it's got all that weight over the rear axle, it's going to need that additional help. So without a doubt, I've already organised that. It's a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I'm going digital, because we do have analogue controls as well, but I think digital is just in keeping with modernising a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So, it's a little bit better, obviously, putting it on your dashboard.
Yeah. Takes more space.
Yeah. So what about, obviously, we've just launched the SHR 4x4 levelling system.
Yep.
What about that? Do you think you'll ever consider getting levelling on it, or SHR?
No, I'm definitely going to go for the levelling as well, because I just cannot be bothered with the hassle. And then it means if one of us camps on our own with a child, we're not having to worry about driving up chocks and ramps and stuff like that, which can be really daunting. But mine's a crafter, so it's not going to be exactly the same kit as the new 4x4, but we do have a kit for it as well. So I'm 100% going to be fitting that on as well, just for ease, because I don't want the stress, especially when I'm going away on my own, which will happen.
No, are you going to go away by yourself as well?
And I want to take my nieces with me as well, so I've promised them when I get the van done, I can take my nieces with me.
You just want everything stable though, when you set up and you're cooking, and if you're on uneven ground, you just want to be...
Yeah, and it's more like, I can't be bothered waking up with a headache as well.
I get that.
You know when you wake up and you're at a funny angle?
Blood rushing to your head. So, on the topic of SHR, obviously I work in marketing. I see all the comments flood through of people asking us different questions about the SHR levelling system.
Yeah.
So now I've got you, finally, where you're actually not travelling and you're here with me.
I'm not on the phone.
Yeah, exactly that. I thought, why not ask you like a few questions that have been put through by our customers?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yep.
So So one of our comments is, why should I invest my money in SHR Levelling rather than other levelling systems on the market?
So basically, we are newer to the market, but I've worked in levelling a long time, so I know most of the products out there in and out, within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But the design of it, so basically, the reality is we didn't have to go into levelling because our bag is air suspension.
Yeah.
And we're doing very well with it. It's got to a really good place. Customers actually understand it now, which is massive progress over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, definitely.
But ultimately, what kind of happened with SHR is we kind of actually stumbled across it, is the true story. So our CEO went to visit one of our dealers in Germany because they seem to be selling a lot of air suspension. And he went to visit them and then found out this whole massive levelling system that they developed, and he was absolutely blown away. They rang our director in the UK, asked him to go over there because he thought it was really worth looking at. So basically, our director went across, had a look, and he was just absolutely blown away by the engineering. And we genuinely thought there was nothing in the UK that is engineered as well as this product. And his main philosophy really is ultimately supporting the vehicle. So basically, when he first decided to develop the system, he was a retired hydraulic engineer.
I've heard the story.
So he was a retired hydraulic engineer, travelled the whole world for big organisations. And he's a motorbike racer, so he's got a massive A-class. And he looked at all the systems on the market and he said, you know what, I actually don't feel comfortable putting any of these on my vehicle. That was genuinely his stance. So anyway, he went away, looked at all the systems, addressed what he didn't like, and he basically came up with SHR. And you'll notice really the key difference between SHR and any other product really is that everything's reinforced. So basically we won't just put a bracket straight onto the chassis. We'll put some sort of strengthening on it as well, basically.
Yeah, of course.
So, for example, you'll see cross members going across all the time on the front and the back. And basically, he just wanted to put the absolute minimal stress on the vehicle chassis when it's lifting up and down.
Well, that's one of our main features, isn't it? And it's a lot of the reasons why customers actually purchase.
Yeah, and I think some people don't get that, and they see the massive price tag, which, to be fair, we are more expensive than other people. But
we have good reason for being.
Yeah, so just the design that's involved, and ultimately, if you've got, say, for argument's sake, £100,000, £150,000 van, why on earth would you take risks with what you're adding to the vehicle to lift it and lower it?
To potentially damage the vehicle itself?
So it just doesn't make any sense as far as I'm concerned. So basically, there was that. He's still using very high quality components. If you meet the guy, he won't compromise on anything. So like, it's still stainless steel foot plates. He uses the best components inside of his actual jacks. He wanted to make sure that the jacks were valved, so that basically when they're down, it's never going to drop.
Yeah, of course.
So he's really thought about it. It's a really clever system. There's nothing mounted inside as well, which was one of the things that bothered him. So basically, if you broke into a van, if it's got a control panel there, then you just put it up and off you go. So everything's wireless, so it's like really clever. So yeah, basically we were blown away by it, and we thought, do you know what, we don't have to get involved in levelling, but this product is that good.
It made us want to and bring it to the UK, because certainly we are the only company that sell SHR levelling.
So basically, we're really happy with the progress. People are starting to understand it a bit more. People are choosing it now over other products.
I think the thing is with the owner of SHR as well, he's got a genuine passion for hydraulic levelling, and he believes in his product so much. And like you said, the engineering behind it, the research that's gone into it. He genuinely believes that this is the best levelling system. And for good reason, really, because the features that you get with SHR are completely different to the features that you get on SHR are completely different to others on the market.
And ultimately, he doesn't have to do this. He's retired. He's
had
a successful career. But he just really wants to put a really good system out there. And so far, I'm pretty blown away by it, genuinely. More and more dealers are adopting it. And it's going from strength to strength to strength.
Well, I feel like now customers are actually starting to purchase it and have it fitted onto their vehicles in the UK. Whoever you speak to, really, who has it fitted, will recommend it to the next person, and they say it is a completely different system to what they were expecting, and it exceeds their expectations of what it was. So I think we've gone through everything there as to why you potentially should purchase SHR in a lot of detail. And someone else has also commented on one of our recent videos, and it says, I've seen that you do an alarm module. What actually is this?
Yeah, so basically, if you've got an aftermarket alarm, it's the early days with it, so we know certain brands will work. So basically, Scorpion, Outsmart the Thief, Auto Watch, we know those definitely will work and integrate with our alarm systems. We're looking at expanding that list. But ultimately what it'll do is it'll plug in, SHR will talk to the alarm module, or the alarm system, sorry. And basically when that alarm, so say someone's trying to break into your van, the alarm goes off, and that will send a signal to SHR that you need to put the jacks down.
Yeah.
So within 60 seconds, the van will be leveled. And then that presents a problem, because basically, if you're trying to drive away, then you might not have all tyres on the ground, so you're not going to get the traction. And or you're going to damage the motorhome if you start driving on it.
Yeah.
So I think people in general, if they see jacks underneath the vehicle and down in the first instance, then that's already a deterrent.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But then even more so, if the jacks aren't down and then they start moving,
yeah,
they're going to be like,
you're
what
going to
is
avoid
going
it,
on
aren't
here?
you?
So basically, it's all about deterrent and making things as difficult as possible.
Say if someone tried to break into your motorhome,
Yeah.
and the alarms went off as such, would the jacks automatically deploy then?
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So it's anyone that's got it so far is genuinely really good feedback.
Yeah.
They're really impressed with it.
So I don't know if you've seen it, and maybe you get asked it at the exhibitions, but a lot of the customers are worried about with the alarm module that if they're on a ferry, because a lot of the time alarms can get set off on the ferries, and people are worried about the jack starting to deploy on the ferry if they're not with their vehicle.
Yeah.
What is the solution to that? Will that happen? Will that not happen?
So our system is uses an isolator switch, and that's just for safety, so that we know that basically when you start driving, you have to isolate off.
Yep.
So we know there is absolutely zero chance that your jacks will come down when you're traveling. And because the jacks are valved, we know they're also never going to drop. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that comes up quite a lot. So basically, for you to interact with the alarm, basically, you always set the isolator as on. So that means that it's active, it's not going to use any power, anything like that. It just means it's ready to go if the alarm goes off. So basically, if you were on a ferry, all you would do is turn that isolator off. And that basically completely kills the system.
Disengages with the system.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to let you know, if you are on the ferry, your hydraulic jacks will not drop down if the isolator switches. So I'm just thinking about it from the point of view of our customers or someone who is considering purchasing SHR. What happens if someone breaks in their motorhome, finds the remote control? Will they be able to put the jacks up? What will happen?
So basically, as soon as that alarm goes off, it basically cuts the signal to the remote. So literally, it becomes redundant completely. And the only way to get it back up is by using a paired device. So like your phone or iPad, whatever it is that you've got that's connected to the system.
Okay. That's actually really good to know.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Because I was just thinking that someone probably will be thinking, well, what happens if someone actually gets into the cab and gets the remote control? But if you can't disconnect it apart from using your mobile as such, that's really good. Yeah,
it's really clever. So some people have said, oh, well, why has your system got a PIN code? We don't need a PIN code. Yeah. Because ultimately...
You've got two devices as such that have got the app on.
And then even if, for example... Yeah, all right, someone could get in and get the remote. You could just take the remote with you if you were leaving it for long periods.
Well, yeah,
so
that's right.
We don't need a PIN code. It's not relevant, really.
Do you know what, Lorna? I found this really, really interesting because I've learned stuff that I don't necessarily already know, and I can now obviously explain to our customers online as well. I think it was good to talk about your van conversion too, because there's probably a lot of people out there that are going through it. Yeah, no. Good luck, and I'm sure I'll hear a lot more about it.
I'm hoping I'll be an electrical wizard by the end of it.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. And if I ever get a van that I want to convert, you can come and do it.
And then I'll move into the technical side of the business, even more technical than I already do.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions at all, or you want us to cover any topics at all, please just get in contact with us and we'll do it on our next little chat together with Lorna.
Thanks for listening, guys. As Lauren said, if you've got any questions, ask us. Lauren will ask me. I can relay it back. And obviously, I go to all the shows, so please feel free to come pick my brains.
Yeah, and you can follow us on all of our socials, which is Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at SHR Levelling, or you can follow us at VB-Airsuspension UK. Thank you.
Thanks. See you later, guys.